Back in 2009, 80 of my friends built a 35-foot Rubik's Cube. Those were 5x5 squares, backlit with LEDs. At night, you could see it across the desert. I think you know where this was probably made. There were 3 controllers to change the colors of the cube, X, Y, and Z. It took about 3 hours for it to be solved the first time. The controllers were screaming distance apart. Now, where and why would people create art like this? Well, it's at Burning Man. And I've been going to Burning Man for about 10 years now. It's an amazing place. It's a temporary city where people come together and basically over the span of a week go from nothing to 40,000 people. There are fire departments, there's an ambulance, and yeah, there's a big man in the middle. This is what it looks like from the sky. Back in 2007, I went up in a plane, took a couple shots. The city itself is beautiful. It's shaped like a clock. And so at the 2 ends, at 2 and 10, are the large sound systems where the clubs are, and the sound broadcasts out into the desert. The man itself is in the middle. All the white space in there is where the art is. And this is about the size that Burning Man is. As it was placed over, say, San Francisco, it would actually cover most of Seattle where I live. So Burning Man itself is pretty freaking huge. And so when you have art like this 80-foot Trojan horse that ended up being burned down by people with flaming arrows, like it needs to be of an appropriate scale to support art like this. Art that took 2 years and several hundred people to build. And one of the things about Burning Man is that you really own the art there. You really own the city there. There is no real Occupy movement because we're the ones creating the city. We're the ones who are doing the fire department, the policing, the emergency rescue. So it's a pretty amazing thing to be a part of that city. And as you can tell, it's very well organized, with very clear transit routes between all the different art. No comments on the state of the mind of the creator of that map. And there's also public transportation that'll take you around between these different art pieces. Various cat buses and trains that make sure people get where they need to be on time. But you have to wonder, why do people want to do this? What is it about Burning Man that makes them want to go there and invest tens of thousands of dollars to build 40-foot statues of dancing women? Well, one thing is the community aspect. I mean, at home in Seattle, these 40-some people who are actually on the playa building the cube, they go out to eat together, and their next challenge is where to get a good quesadilla or an omelet. But in the desert, they're bonding together, trying to figure out how to actually erect that huge cube. And those challenges bring them together. Another thing is, there's something beautiful about art that's temporary. Art that's built just for the moment. That Trojan horse went up in a grand display of fireworks in front of about 2,000 or 3,000 people. And finally, at home in Seattle, we can't build art that's the size of a city block. But out in the middle of the desert, in a space that's several miles wide, you can take over an entire city block just for your own purpose. And it's not that everything is just art. Sometimes people get a little geeky there. This is our version of Street View. On a recumbent tricycle, there are 6 point-and-shoot Canon cameras that this person is using to document Burning Man. But there's a lot of criticism around Burning Man. Why should people invest so much time in a city that's not their home? In a place that disappears after just a week? What are they bringing back? What's actually changing? Well, one question is, where else could they possibly do it? But what I like to think is that the people do actually bring things back to their cities. And that it's the spirit that and the community that they've created at Burning Man that goes home. But it also makes me proud to know that the Rubik's Cube is actually installed at Seattle Science Museum right now. We spent several weeks assembling it. It's there for the next 9 months, where kids from, at least all over Puget Sound are coming to play with a 35-foot Rubik's Cube. Thank you very much. I'm Brady Forrest. I hope to see you on the playa.